like to welcome everyone to the August 22nd, 2023 regular scheduled council meeting at Port Clinton City Hall and the Luna Heartland Chambers. Would you please stand for a pledge of allegiance, Lord's Prayer, and all the saints for the serving
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, power, and glory, forever. Amen.
Thank you. You may be seated. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Beth Gilman. Present. Margaret Phillips.
Present.
Richard Morgan.
I am here.
Kelly Dangle. Here. Pat Hovis.
Here.
Jerry Trolley.
Present.
Kathy King.
Here. Council, you previously received the August 22nd, 2023 regular meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Madam President, I move for approval of the minutes from August 22nd.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Okay, I have a motion by Ms. Phillips, seconded by Mr. Trolley to approve the August 22nd, 2023 regular meeting minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries, and the minutes are adopted. The chair notes that certification has been made for the requirements and certifications of this meeting. We have no guest presentation, public comment.
No.
Executive officers reports. Council, this evening on second reading, you have ordinance 1723, which finance had discussed that at their last meeting, and ordinance 18-3 that was not, wait, it's 1823. Ordinance 18-23 that was not assigned to a committee. Administration has asked that they both be passed on their second readings due to time-sensitive nature. Also, there is a liquor transfer form from Economic Development Transfer form from Trucks for the Gristmill LLC, correct? And I haven't heard anything from the police chief that there are any objections. So if council would like to take action on that when we get to correspondence, we'd appreciate it. That is all I have this evening. I'm sure the mayor has a list. It's been busy in the city. So.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, Council, and everyone else. Hope you're doing well tonight. I want to thank the Lighthouse Conservancy, congratulate them on their annual Lighthouse Festival this past Saturday. It was a great event, beautiful weather, just a nice time all around, great family event. On Sunday, several hundred Port Clinton residents traveled west to Fifth Third Field in downtown Toledo for the third annual PC Day at Fifth Third Field. Officer Ralph Edmonds and Officer Ellis Fuyava had the opportunity to throw out the first pitch. They were two of about a dozen folks, not all from Port Clinton, to throw out the first pitch. The third and fourth person in line was a 4-year-old girl that did amazing, much better than Ellis. And a little bit later in that line, there was probably a 9-10-year-old girl that threw a fastball right down the middle, and the whole crowd erupted. So that was a fun event. The VFW served as the honor guard by the Port Clinton High School Orchestra, played the Star Spangled Banner. Reggie Langford, who is a local resident, World War II, or not World War II, Reggie, Vietnam War Purple Heart recipient, was our hometown hero. And the boys and girls from Rainbow Acres Daycare sung Take Me Out to the Ballgame, which was one of the cutest things of the day. And the best part, the Mud Hens won 3-0, so there we go. This Saturday is the Heroes Horns for Hazel event. That's a joint event between the Port Clinton Fire, Catawba Fire, Port Catawba Police, EMS, and the Ottawa County Sheriff. Hazel Brown is the 3-year-old girl I spoke of at the last city council meeting. In July, was diagnosed with inoperable terminal brain cancer. This event, it runs from 11 a to 1 p on Saturday. The individuals from those various agencies will be at a variety of locations throughout the area, collecting cash and gift cards that will help the family with their travel, lodging, living expenses over the next several months. The locations here in Port Clinton: Lakeview Park, Port Clinton High School, and Baton Elementary School. In Portage Township, Knoll Crest Plaza, and on the Catawba Peninsula, the Miller Ferry, the Orchard Table and Bar, Gideon Owen Wine Company, and the Catawba Island Volunteer Fire Department location. In conjunction with that, there is an event being planned for Saturday, the 16th of September. We're calling it Hazelpalooza. The intent is to have all-day entertainment in the district area, the mom stage, from 11 a.m. until 11 p.m. Three bands and performers are committed to perform. There's still one open slot. We have some calls out to some folks. And the downtown merchants, many of them, there's still others we have to make contact with, but everybody we've spoken to thus far is going to donate a portion of the sales of that day to help the Brown family. There's also been a booth placed at the stage on Friday and Saturday nights with the announcement before the entertainment. And I'll just preface all that with about $1,600 has been raised in the 2 weekends that boot has been out there. And the way the boot is collected, just so everyone's full disclosure, I collect the boot, I grab someone from the audience, whether it's Nicole from the chamber or the sound guy, we count the money, I deposit it in my personal account, and then I write a check for that same amount, and I'm tracking all of that money in, money out. I write the check to the foundation that the family has selected to assist them in this process. Council, you may have noticed some utility work at the intersection of Jefferson and Perry Street. If you recall, back in March, there were some storms that rolled through the community and knocked down a pole that held wires running over the Portage River from about the sewage treatment plant-ish to Brands Marina area. This is follow-up to that incident. The poles are owned by First Energy, but 3 utilities were utilizing those poles. Through some findings, only one utility has enough space, so First Energy has that space to go across the river. The other 2 utilities are trying to find other locations. Omni Fiber, the city designated an unused water line as not needed. It runs under the Portage River, so Omni Fiber is utilizing that underground old water line to get their fiber that used to run over the river, under the river, over to the yacht club to service the people on that side of the river. Infrastructure project, just a quick update. Mr. Colson and I had some news. This project started as one big umbrella infrastructure project, and as we've started the discussions several years ago, it was broken into 2 projects, A and B, above ground and below ground. And then as we started to get some money, we split off some things, and we have above ground 1 and above ground 2. We have the revetment project. We have the 4th Street reconstruction project. We have the lead paint remediation project. We have what we call internally the 5 Points project. That's the intersection of Perry and Madison. And each time one of these things is spun off, it's because we found another revenue source to help offset the cost of these activities to the local citizens. Well, earlier today, we received word from ODOT Small Cities that the city was awarded $1.699 million for what internally we're calling, and he doesn't know yet because I just made it up earlier today, the Art District project, part of the overall umbrella of the infrastructure project. This will include resurfacing and some underground utility work on West Perry Street, Harrison, from West Perry to Fremont Road, and the 100 block of Monroe Street, both north and southbound. Again, this is kind of in conjunction with that 5 Points area, kind of expands that whole project there. That $1.699 million will cover no less than 80% and up to 95% of that total project. And each time we bring in some additional money, we're able to then expand what we're going to do. If you remember, we have the above ground and below ground. When we got that $10 million of below ground stuff, that allowed us to look at some other areas that were only going to get pavement and now do some below ground stuff. And this is all kind of part of that. And as we open up another chest of money, it opens up other chests of money. So in the long run, it's good. Obviously, the downside is it's cost us some time. But at this point, I've said it several times, and I don't want to throw them under the bus each time, but the U.S. Department of Agriculture is still reviewing the above ground portion, the engineering phase of that. And even if they were to say, let's go today, we wouldn't get started till next spring. So this is all good money that's coming into the community. So that was an exciting news. We got that about 1 o'clock this afternoon.
Thank you, congratulations.
It's a big team working on it. So with that, believe it or not, that's it. Unless anybody has any questions,
Does
Mr.
anyone
Trolley.
have- anyone else have a question?
No, congratulations though. Thank you for all you guys' hard work. I know we, especially me, have harassed you too in the past about this. And I'm not gonna blame the mayor for giving us a date to start. but
Yeah, I'll fall on the sword for
You
that.
have learned.
I will fall
But
on
again, thank you for all your mental and physical anguish doing this, because I know it's played on y'all. So again, thank you. Can't wait. That's all, man.
Thank you. Auditor report.
Thank you, Madam President. Council, good evening. On August 15th, I attended the meeting of the Park District of Ottawa County, introduced the RFQ that we solicited the week prior, and talked about our plans ahead, hoping to generate interest, potential cost share, many future improvements, including the actual planning phase. So there were no red flags raised, but I want to bring that to your attention. The state audit continues across all departments. Council, please expect a few ordinances pertaining to ongoing audit, including one pertaining to the administration's use of blanket purchase agreements on a quarterly basis, among other things. More information will come in the future. The U.S. Forest Service grant that the city applied to, that's still expected to be announced. Which communities and which entities are to be awarded in September. If anything comes up on that front, I'll be sure to let everyone know. In the U.S. Department of Transportation, the electric charging grant is still on a TBD timeframe. I want to provide you updates on those two efforts. I'm happy to entertain any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you. Did the treasurer leave?
Yes, we have none.
Law director report.
Thank you, Madam President. Just to clarify, something Mayor mentioned about with Omni Fiber. So we had an underground abandoned pipeline. The city abandoned it previously. It was deemed that it was not needed by the city. It was deemed that it really didn't have a value to it. There's no value. I mean, you'd have to literally dig it up if you want the pipe. So when Omni Fiber had the issue that they were basically told to cease and desist everything they're doing, we met with one of the managing partners of Omni Fiber, someone who's in charge, and the city donated, or actually didn't donate, we sold the underground line to Omni Fiber for $1. Like I said, it doesn't have any value, but this lets them run whatever wiring they need to run under the Portage River. And this line is something that like the city's never going to need again. So also, since we sold it to them for $1, if there's issues, concerns, it's all theirs. They have to take care of it. They have to pay for it. We are not responsible for that now. So that I just wanted to just clarify that. So it was abandoned previously, no value really, and we ended up selling it to Omni Fiber. So it's theirs now.
Anyone have any questions for the law director? on to supervisors' reports. Mr. Colston?
I think the mayor covered pretty much everything unless there's questions.
Mayor reports, finance, Ms. Hovis?
Yes, my committee met last Tuesday and we discussed ordinance 17-23, and it was requested that it be passed on its second reading, which is tonight, and my committee agreed.
Economic,
Environmental and public works. Thank you.
well, economic, I was gonna skip
Yeah, but
that,
you
but
were
you go
looking at
ahead, I was
me.
looking at you.
I was looking at you
Sorry.
too, so go ahead, Jerry.
Just changing it up tonight.
I have nothing tonight.
Okay.
After all that.
Yeah, Mrs. Gilman.
We're meeting tonight after council.
Okay, safety services, Ms. Phillips.
Thank you, Madam President. We met before this meeting. It's obvious that we have a lot more to discuss, but it was quite lively, and people are understanding it courtesy of Ms. Shanker's demonstration of what all this is about. So we're going to meet again on September 12th at 5 p.m. in this room, because we had quite a few visitors here. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Move on to correspondence. On the
Madam President, before you, can you explain what this transfer from trucks is? Is that the liquor license?
It's their liquor license, correct?
It's a liquor license that they had the one that fell through that you guys already approved.
Okay, I thought we
So they
just,
Yeah.
You did, and now they got a different one, and that's what they're doing.
okay, thank you, thank you.
Under correspondence, we have economic development transfer form trucks for Gristmill LLC and planning commission meeting minutes for July 27, 2023.
Madam President?
Yes.
I move we waive our right to a hearing for the economic development transfer form trucks for the Crystal
Okay,
LLC.
thank you. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you. Any discussion? We have a motion by Ms. Gilman, seconded by Mrs. King to waive a hearing in reference to the economic development transfer from trucks for the Gristmill LLC. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Richard Morgan,
Yes.
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Kathy Gangle, or Kelly Gangle. Let's answer at the same time. Every time I see a K and I
Same
say
sentence,
yeah. Sorry. Yes, Kelly Gangle. Pat Ovis.
Yes.
Kathy King.
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
No.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 6-1. Does council wish to take any further action as to the correspondence?
Madam President, I move that we accept the correspondence as presented.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
One second.
Thank you, Mr. Troy. Discussion. I have a motion by Ms. Phillips, seconded by Mr. Troy to approve the correspondence as stated. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Correspondences are hereby adopted. We move on to readings of ordinances and resolutions. Third readings. We'll move on to second readings. Will the clerk please read by title and summary only ordinance 17-23.
Ordinance number 17-23, an ordinance revising and fixing the salaries of certain supervisory positions classified as non-exempt employees of the city of Fort Clifton, Ohio, not covered by collective bargaining agreement, and replacing any previous ordinance referencing salaries for certain non-exempt employees and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Is council wish to take any action as to ordinance 17-23?
Madam President, I move to waive the 3 required readings.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Troy. Any discussion? We have a motion by Mrs. Hovis, seconded by Mr. Troy to waive the 3 required readings. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Richard Morgan.
Yes.
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Pat Hovis.
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Kathy King.
Yes.
Kelly Gangle.
Yes.
Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. Does council wish to take any further action as to ordinance 17-23?
Madam President, I move to retain the emergency clause.
A second?
I'll second, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Troy.
Any question?
Any discussion? We have a motion by Mrs. Hovis, seconded by Mr. Troy to retain the emergency clause as to ordinance 17-23. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Pat Hovis.
Yes.
Richard Morgan. Kelly Gangle.
Yes.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Kathy King.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carried by a vote of 7-0. The emergency clause is hereby retained. Does council wish to take any further action as to ordinance 17-23?
Madam President, I move to adopt ordinance 17-23.
Thank you, do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Trolley. Any discussion? A motion by Ms. Hovis, second by Mr. Trolley, to adopt ordinance 17-23. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Terry Trolley,
Yes.
Kelly Gangle. Yes. Richard Morgan.
Yep.
Kathy King.
Yes.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Pat Hovis.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. Ordinance 1723 is hereby adopted. Will the clerk please read by title and summary only ordinance 18-23?
Ordinance number 18-23, an ordinance authorizing and directing the Director of Safety and Service to prepare and submit an application to the Ohio Public Works Commission, OPWC, for design or construction of the sanitary and pavement infrastructure facilities for the Laurel Avenue Sewer Replacement Project, including sewer improvements and pavement improvements to Laurel Ave and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 18-23?
Madam President,
Mr. Trolley.
I can make a motion to waive the 3 required readings of ordinance 18-3.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Hovis. Any discussion? We have a motion by Mr. Trolley, seconded by Mrs. Hovis, to waive the 3 required readings as to ordinance 18-23. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Kathy King.
Yes.
Kelly Gangle.
Yes.
Pat Hovis.
Yes.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Richard Morgan.
Yes.
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. The 3 required readings are hereby waived. Does council wish to take any further action as to ordinance 18-23?
Madam President,
Mr. Trolley.
I'd like to make a motion to retain the emergency clause.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
A second?
Thank you, Mrs. Hovis. Any discussion? I have a motion by Mr. Trolley, seconded by Mrs. Hovis, to retain the emergency clause as to ordinance 18-23. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Kelly Gangle.
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Kathy King.
Yes.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Richard Morgan.
Yes.
Pat Hovis.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. The emergency clause is hereby retained. Does council wish to take any further action as to ordinance 18-23?
Madam President,
Mr.
I make a motion to adopt ordinance 18-3.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
A second?
Thank you, Ms. Hovis. Any discussion?
Did Jerry say 18-3 or 18-20?
Yeah, I did. 18
Okay, I just want to clarify.
I'm
It
sorry.
doesn't put any-
Yes, 18-23.
I thought I heard, I just wanted to make sure.
I have a question. I know I'm supposed to, what is this?
This is the one that, well, they can explain, Mr. Colston explained it 2 meetings ago, I believe, too. This is just to, would you want to explain it further, I guess?
18-3
23.
Yes.
It should be 23, yes.
for the, this is to submit for the Ohio Public Works. Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
I got confused with all the. Yeah, we're, instead of just doing the mill and fill on that street, we're gonna go for water and sewer and stuff on that street. So
Okay.
that's what it was all about.
That was one that was added from the original.
It was going to be a mill and fill, and we've since tried to do a total reconstruction, do more work on it. That's the difference, what we've done with these projects. Some of them have crossed over into, like the mayor explained earlier, on Perry and that,
So
instead
when
of
we
just
get
like,
that
it's gonna
money-
be more of a total reconstruction instead of just a mill and fill type of situation.
Right. Okay.
Does that answer it?
And council originally approved it to be mill and fill, so now they're just giving back to council.
So we found more money for this, is that
We're
basically?
going to,
Basically,
we're
yes.
going to get to.
This is gonna allow us to go try to find something.
Correct.
Okay, all right, sounds good, thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay. I have a motion by Mr. Trolley, second by Mrs. Hovis, to adopt ordinance 18-23. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Pat Hovis.
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Kathy King.
Yes.
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Richard Morgan.
Yes.
Kelly Gangle. Yes. Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. Ordinance 18-23 is hereby adopted. We'll move on. And we have no first readings, so we'll move on to business from the floor. Mr. Morgan.
I got nothing tonight.
Mrs. Gangle.
Nothing tonight.
Ms. Phillips.
The whole business that went on at the Waterworks Park, it was just lovely. It was a perfect day. And then I went over to the fellows who were selling or renting the rafts. then I went over to talk to some of the fishermen. It was a great way for a beautiful day to spend some time out. I would advise anybody just go on out.
Mrs. Corbus? Ms. Lopez?
There will not be a committee meeting on September 12th for the Finance Committee. And that's all.
Just one question about 18-23, Mr. Colson. Is that from Second to Alice, or is that just the brick section?
If I remember, it was the brick section.
That's what I thought, but I couldn't remember. That's all. Thank you, that's
And
all.
this is just for the application.
Right.
Correct,
Yeah.
yeah. Just
Yeah,
to make
there's
sure
no-
I clarify
Yeah,
that,
it's just the
that
application.
we don't have the money we're
No.
going to try.
Yes.
Exactly. I'm gonna try to get it.
Correct.
That's all I have. Okay. Mrs. King?
I just wanted to mention that the Greater PC Area Arts Council has its annual fundraiser on September 16th, and tickets are on sale now.
Mrs. Gill?
I just want to remind people, school is starting soon next week. There's a home football game this Friday on the 25th. Should be a great weather night, I hope. So go out and support them and watch out for the kids all over the streets that are they're out there on their bikes and little scooters and we don't have any kids. So. And that's it. And President football season.
Okay, thank you. Seeing
Oh,
no,
well, one more thing I forgot to mention is, I understand on one of our very warm days, two of our responsible citizens went up to the fishing area with a tub and a lot of ice water and doled it out to the fishermen. Is that correct, gentlemen?
What you talking?
Yes.
Sounds like somebody's
We
guilty of that.
received a compliment from a couple of the fishermen out there, and I wanted to make sure we got that on the record.
Good job, Mr. Colson.
He pulled the cooler.
okay, seeing no further business, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Madam President, I move this August body adjourn.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mrs. King. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Thank you, we're adjourned.